I gotta fucking
It's the
switch
microphone
it back
being
over.
on?
There we go.
There we go.
What's up, everybody? There we go. Thanks, Rose. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Damn, Fee got lucky. Fee,
Yes.
we were just talking a lot of trash about you and you couldn't hear any of it. But what's going on? Thank you all so much for tuning in to a special Super Tuesday edition of Mikasa Sukasa. I am your host, Niko House, and I am with...
Craig Pasta Jardula.
And for those of you who do not know, Craig belongs to the Convo Couch, a show on Mikasa, our MCSC network, and they are the ones who are constantly calling out California bullshit. And there is a lot of it. Actually, the first conversation that myself and Fiorella and myself and Craig had was actually about how much drama y'all have in California. Y'all need to get y'all shit together. Because when we have nights like this, where we got 18 progressives running against each other, what the hell, California? Do y'all not communicate with each other? We got David Hildebrand, who's super dope, running against Pat Harris, who's super dope. Running against like 150 other people, but they're not really that important. But these two guys are stand-up progressives. And we got them running against each other in a race where really only one of them can run against Dianne Feinstein. And so then you put our progressives in a predicament where they have to pick sides, and progressives are really just not good at picking sides and staying friends. Because they act like if you say this person and I want this person, they will rip your soul out. They feel like you cheated on them in your own bed. So I'm glad that there's so much activity, and Craig and Fee have been doing a fantastic job of covering it. And really quick, I want him to tell you all about what fuckery is going on in California right now that we've been getting updates. Fiorella has posted a few. Jeremy White posted one. But what has been talked about as far as these provisional ballots are concerned?
What's going on, Niko, is that almost 120,000 voters were omitted from the voter rosters today. They say in LA due to a printing error. Of course, Maria Estrada...
Hold up, a printing error?
Yeah, a printing error.
They don't got more printers?
Well, I don't know, but I think it was an error. It wasn't in the right ink. Well, who knows what it is? But they were forced upon, again, with the lovable provisional ballot.
Y'all got Brooklyn.
Yeah.
They got Brooklyn, New York, people. 120,000 ballots or registrations. Or no, is it ballots got fucked up or registrations didn't make it?
You mean you're talking about Brooklyn?
The 120,000.
Here, they were omitted from the voter rosters. In other words, they say your name's not on the roster because there was a printing error. So therefore, you don't get the ballot.
So in other words,
counted. You get this pink.
In other words, I got you. I got this one. I got this part. So remember how they keep record of everything you do, like, that's why you get registered, because like they know who you voted for last year, and they use that when they're going out to figure out like whose doors not going to save themselves time. So they know who you voted for. I wonder what they do if they found out your ass voted for Bernie Sanders. I wonder if you was part of that printing era. Like, I don't understand. Once you find out you have a printing error that costs 120,000 votes, shouldn't you probably suspend the election and make sure that you have your people back? But no, that's okay, because the establishment has a solution for printing errors. They're called provisional ballots. Yeah. Don't y'all love, man? Y'all remember provisional ballots? California, y'all should really love provisional ballots because they're so effective, right? You ain't even got to count them shits because they get thrown away. Yep. So you don't even got to worry about them. So at least the ballot counters are going to have a good night because they know they ain't never going to have to count a provisional ballot.
They just put that trash can there and then knock them right on in. And, there are some people who are claiming that they do get counted. But if you just do the math, especially from the 2016 primary, it was the same amount of voters from the 2016 primary with Bernie and Hillary that there were in the 2008 primary between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, despite almost 750,000 new registers.
Oh, yeah.
3 weeks
before
the
I think
election.
the
But
Democratic Party
number.
Here's what's interesting about California specifically, but really the entire election. The Democratic Party had record low turnouts, but record high registrations.
Yep.
Because everybody knows that when you go to register and you take your time to do so, which is a headache. Nobody likes registering to vote. So if I register to vote, you best believe I'm getting my ass up to go vote. Mm-hmm. But everybody knows when you go to register to vote, it's a protest. It's saying, I'm registering to trick you all into thinking I'm going to vote. Because that's clearly what the Democratic Party tried to convince you. Also, like we said, Bernie Sanders had a lot of record turnouts, which, by the way, he was in California fighting for the Disney workers and just labor everywhere, doing what he does. By the way, so he was filling up seats again. It's 2018, people. 2015, 2016 is when he ran. 2018, he's still filling up state in California. So if that's your state and you wouldn't your liberal trying to run against him in 2020, good luck, because he got Disney World on the side now. Yeah. So
he moved up too. The whole thing was that they're moving up the primaries now. It's going to be the first Super Tuesday. If you recall, California was one of the last Super Tuesdays, and they said, no more this. The liberal mindset has to come out of California. So the first Super Tuesday now will now be California, so we moved it up early. And that was big. And Bernie Sanders had about 8,000 people at the third rally, which was the Sean King's prison reform rally.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Loads it up.
I love Bernie. I'm
Three
not a
shows
fan
in
of
one
Sean
day.
King.
3 performances.
I'm not a fan of Sean King.
I know.
He need to.
I know. You mad about some of the Alabama stuff he said?
I'm mad about some of the Alabama stuff. I'm mad about the fact that the Hillary stuff. Trying to say, no, there is a worse evil. And I'm thinking, we're talking about the evil who's the prison. They're paying her. They're literally paying her. They weren't even paying Donald Trump that much money until, later in the election when they actually thought it was a viable. They've always paid this woman. You can't tell me that Trump can be possibly worse on prison reform than the woman who said, I stand by my husband's decision with the crime bill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those super predators, you gotta bring them to heel, because that's what you say. You always bring human beings to heel. Don't you say that to your kids when you want them to calm down? Heal, Lil Nelson. You need to heal.
Do you know at the governor's mansion?
What?
She used, when she was in Arkansas and she was at the governor's mansion, they used prison labor.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
It's come on.
Bro.
You don't even know that. That was back in the day.
Check out Cody Snodgrass. He was talking about how Bill Clinton, he fired and hired all new U.S. attorneys because he had always planned on doing a bunch of corrupt shit. This is Bill Clinton, right? Yeah. But people wonder why he had the DEA or why he had passed that prison reform bill, because he had the DEA on, because he had the lobbyists obviously paying him, right? And then obviously he was invested in the prisons themselves, and so he had the DEA literally going hunting for people.
Yeah.
And a lot of their cases were bullshit. And Cody Snodgrass, the reason that he ended up going to court and releasing a lot of these CIA intel documents was because he was a CIA asset. And the only reason he was actually going was to fight the DEA case.
Okay.
But then he got asked to do the Oklahoma City bombing, Oklahoma City bombing. He knows the person, or he knows the people that were involved in the Waco, Texas incident.
That Waco thing is such a
man. Bro. He knows people that he knows the Marines involved in the Libya incident, and they were told to stand down while that place was getting lit up.
Really?
Yes. Oh yeah, that's what Hillary didn't want to expose. People, just so you all know, this is why it's so important to know what your governor, your representative, your attorney generals, what they are responsible for and what they are and are not allowed to do. Because there's a huge fallacious argument getting passed around saying that Hillary sat through X amount of hours of testimony and never got indicted because the only one who could indict her was Loretta Lynch. Went on a plane, talked to her husband. Okay, what's crazy is, okay, maybe y'all did talk about your grandkids. If you are friends enough with me to meet with me in random ass Arizona to talk about my grandkids, I don't want the decision of whether or not this person gets prosecuted left up to you. You were clearly invested in, the freedom of that human being. Absolutely. So the idea that because Hillary Clinton didn't get indicted, that she's guilty or that she's not guilty, that is laughable. That's not how the justice system works. Guilty people go to jail all the time. Yeah. Just because she didn't get indicted doesn't mean anything. Do you know why they brought in Robert Mueller? And do you know why James Comey is getting in trouble right now and Andrew McCabe is getting in trouble? Because just like certain people can keep you out of jail, certain people can orchestrate things to put you in jail, even if you didn't actually do anything, because the justice system at that level is about power and the distribution of it. Yeah. Why? As if I'm a Democrat and I do a bunch of corrupt shit, I'm not going to put a Republican attorney general in who's looking for an excuse to throw me or my colleagues in jail. That's why things get mixed. I like when things like get mixed up unexpectedly, right? Because we had a weird transition where it's like, yeah, it's Trump versus everybody, the establishment Republicans versus the progressives, the establishment Democrats versus the progressives, and the intelligence community itself is like having this huge internal battle. So for the first time, we just saw an IG go after an FBI agent, like one of the top FBI. We've never seen it, and no, we saw it one time. Excuse me, it didn't. But he never got in trouble. It was in '86. The guy who said that the CIA has assets in like pretty much all the media. But so this is the first time we've ever seen somebody, IG, Inspector General, go after a high-ranking intelligence official and actually brought him down. Like, do you think that happens if Hillary Clinton wins office?
No way. Not a chance.
Not at all.
Not even a chance.
So, speaking of which, Craig is on the inside network of California. And he's quite familiar with this lady named Kamala. Is that what they call her now? It's Kamala. I call her Kamala. Some people are like, her name is Kamala.
Kamala.
You know.
I mean, but I call her Kamala.
Yeah. She's the next black
polls. I mean, Stephen Jaffe's team served Nancy Pelosi team's papers to take them to court at the convention because they purged him and took him off the ballot. They almost did it to Pat Harris. Pat Harris fought, but that's once again, being a civil rights lawyer is going to help you. You're going to say you're going to keep me off this ballot. Well, I will see you on the courts the next day, and they let him on there.
Bro, clout. Okay. Yeah, clout. Which is a big thing for Pat, by the way. That's a big victory politically. Yes. Because they were like, shit, he scared the hell out of them.
He did. Because nobody else got on that ballot.
Exactly.
But I walked in, and Kamala was giving her speech, and it was really just begging almost, and it wasn't like the feeling of shut in line and get up, but you can see her just trying to reach out. Please, there's so much more that unites us, that brings us apart. And she's talking to the progressives, and it's like, listen, lady, actions speak louder than words. You can't be a part of this party that brings us apart.
Is she talking about, like, she was saying, like, literally progressives forget, like, because she knows y'all know, and she knows she's planning on running, and she's worried. Like, that's the most, understand, people, if Kamala Harris, because she's going to run against Tulsi and Bernie, and this is speculation, but I mean they're running. They're running, both of them. Like Tulsi makes a comment on literally every major event, and it's been going viral. Bernie, he's campaigning in California for some reason. Yeah, like Jeff acted like he just dropped the bombshell the other day. Bernie might be running for office. Oh, you think? Cory Booker's going to run, but I don't think he's going to be a threat in Cali at all because they all hate him. Democrats, Republicans alike, progressives and establishment, they're just like, yo, this dude is whack. But
they're definitely running her.
First Super Tuesday, imagine going up in California as Kamala Harris, former Attorney General. You get exposed early as hell in the election because California's gonna tell about your little Attorney General record how you in the private prison reform in the banking industry have been having an orgy, a neoliberal orgy, since you've been in office. Yeah. So she is like, the fact that y'all moved that shit up is like big for who, like, really both Bernie and Tulsi, and who are like, there's a bunch of progressives apparently going to try to throw their hat in the race. I don't think they're not going to have a chance, just because name recognition is way too high right now between multiple candidates. But with, like I said, with Kamala, for the neoliberal pick to lose her own state, imagine what that says for every other neoliberal in the race. The Democratic Party could potentially be defeated in their first major state, which is the state that their main candidate is from, and she's black. And they think that if you're black, you can win anything, which is really ironic, but we're not going to go there. But
it fits their identity politics that she's black and that she's white and that she's light skinned.
I thought she was South Asian.
She's a woman.
I thought she's Southeast Asian.
I think she might be. Is she black though?
Yeah, she's black. She's half black, half Indian. Like she did. Like I think she's Desi.
I personally think though, this is my listen, and she's so smooth. I mean, she does have bail reform.
Yeah.
She does talk about
bail reform. She has bail reform. So she has bail reform now. But didn't she fight for the mandatory minimum to be like increased? And then like came out and while she was a senator and was like, oh, the mandatory minimum's horrible.
Yeah. She has that. Well, she's that's the thing. She's come to fruition on certain things. Sometimes I think it's just a political move, just like when she said single payer when she jumped on Bernie's bill and stuff. I think she knows that it's not going to get passed in the House and Senate, just like Chuck Schumer with the weed bill.
Yeah, at least right now.
It's not going to get through Congress now. So now you can go and campaign on it and say, "Hey, I'm there now. I've come to. I've seen the light."
They do heat checks. They do heat checks because you gotta think, bro. These strategists, they suck. I don't know the people who aren't involved in politics. I know we hold these people we used to hold these people in such high regard. Like, wow, they get this person elected every single year. Okay, so Democratic Party strategists are not actually strategists. They don't actually know how to win elections. The idea is, okay, if you're the best strategist, how much money did you raise for your candidate last election? Yeah. That's what a Democratic Party strategist is.
That's
because
how do you raise money?
Exactly, because 91% of the elections around the country, especially, I would say it's probably close to 99 and 98 if you're in a big city in an important district that's influential. It's won by money. So that's what it. So these strategists actually have no idea how to connect to people. They actually have no idea how to talk to people. They don't know what to say when they get on the phone and they're actually like there because everybody's phone banking, right? When you're like a Dianne Feinstein, you're not phone banking to convert people. You're just trying to confirm your numbers.
That's it.
Like, so whenever you were Hillary, for example, and people started phone banking for her or phone banking for Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and they were getting challenged with questions, they were like, shit, I don't know. How do I hang up the fucking phone? Hang up. Like, but so essentially, the Kamala Harrises of the world, they gonna have to deal with a lot of shit coming 2020. Yeah. And I love it. Yeah. Y'all know how I feel. There are people who don't trust the Democratic Party and think that they will absolutely try to cheat Bernie Sanders and Tulsi Gabbard. And I will say, yeah, they will 100% try to cheat Bernie Sanders into Tulsi Gabbard. Like, that's not a question. But the difference is, we are prepared. We're not stupid. We're not naive. We know when we need to register. We know who the fuck to talk to if my ballot goes missing or if my registration gets messed up. Yeah. We know so much more. We have so much more coverage, so many more eyes on the ground, so many more, eyes in the sky. Like, we have such a larger network. We have, they all have, Bernie specifically and Tulsi specifically have name recognition that they never had before. So Hillary Clinton had the Hillary Victory Fund, and she had these organizations. She pretty much, the DNC was her organization, if you will.
Well, she took it over.
So she used that, right, for clout to control who gets into office. Why? Because of the significance of the endorsements when it's time to run for president. So she had started planning that shit 7 to 8 years in advance. So Bernie ain't a stupid guy's damn self. I got some problems with his rhetoric with Russia right now, but he's not an idiot. So what would you do if you're Bernie? He's like, she started a little bit early. I bet I can get a head start on her. Hey, our revolution. Let's go get some people elected. And guess what started happening? And guess what they did? Because Bernie can't come out and endorse independence because he'll violate. He will keep himself out of the Democratic primary, and the third party, like the Green Party, they've been so busy arguing with each other recently and trying to argue about who owes so and so money and like about their girlfriends and boyfriends and who's actually more. Y'all get it together, because guess what? I'm not saying that Bernie absolutely would have came. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, if I'm a Green Party person, I'm serious. I'm worrying about how I keep getting denied access, and why is it so much harder for me to get access when I have millions of people in my party just like you do. That's what I would be focusing on, and then understanding how to take over the infrastructure, or at least get a seat at the table so that you actually have a chance to win. That would be important, because that's the only reason Bernie doesn't go third party. Is because if I live in New York City, guess who's counting my votes? The Democrats. Yeah. If I live in Birmingham, Alabama, guess who's counting my votes? The Republicans. Yeah. Guess who's not getting the damn vote? The Green Party. Like Michigan, where local candidates, like local Green Party candidates, had more votes than Jill Stein did in the entire state. Okay? That's why Bernie can't run independent. So I get that. Yeah. But with Bernie, this man got our revolution, said, you know what? I can't endorse independent Green parties and other people, but our revolution can. And guess what they did? They endorsed them, and they're winning.
Yeah. And
they may have the first black Democratic Georgia governor.
Yep.
As a woman. Yeah. Like, they're making crazy moves. Cynthia Nixon's probably going to go for their vote and probably going to get it. They're freaking out and causing even Hillary Clinton to come out and get
endorse Cuomo.
Yeah, which was the stupid.
Which I think is like the kiss of death, if you ask me, and stuff. But what you were saying about the Our Revolution thing, people don't realize it's genius.
It was.
He can still just sit back and he doesn't have to endorse anybody. He won't endorse anybody. So therefore, he's playing nice with the Democratic Party in their mind. But he has this whole organization, run by Tina Turner, that will endorse the people he wants. And today, a couple days ago, they just gave a national endorsement to Angelica Duenas. And she is California District number 29, Green Party, and I think she's got a really good shot. Yeah, there's 3 Greens running into my area. There's Kenneth Mejia for 34,
he got
Angelica Duenas for 29. They got local.
Yeah,
he didn't get national. Neither did Miguel Zuniga from 43. Miguel Zuniga,
which is weird because Bernie came out and endorsed Kenneth. Before. So
that was before.
Yeah, that was when he was the Democratic Party. But I think that he unfortunately fell victim to the same issue that Tim encountered, which is that the national level doesn't want to conflict with the major races in the Democratic Party, like the high name recognition races. But bro, it's genius, and that's just the kind of strategy you have to have. Like I said, I don't really blindly believe in anybody, but I do believe in patterns of behavior and integrity and consistency. And one thing that Bernie has always done is run. He never loses a race and then just quits. I knew that was out the window. So the moment you understand that reality, then every move that he makes after he concedes is for the next election. And the first thing you do is don't burn your bridges, because you never know which bridge you're gonna have to use to get back to the goddamn island. And that's it is what it is. So, but for Nina to come, because then Nina was his attack dog. Man, went on Tim Black's show and said, "Look here, Democrats, black people are not on y'all plantation anymore. Y'all can't tell us who we're going to endorse and who we're not going to endorse." And started going in on the Democratic Party, which, if you notice, Bernie, his support base is like in lockstep with him. So if you want to know if Bernie actually believes something, look at what Jane says, look at what Nina says, look at what Tulsi says, look at what not necessarily Jeff, but Levy, and look at what Levy says. Look, if Bernie says something and all of them echo it, ding ding ding. If Bernie says something, Cory Booker, for some reason, is humping his leg while he's saying it.
Which will happen now after that first time.
Yeah, and then...
Cory, get down!
Get down, Cory!
Get down, Cory!
Get down! Who are you looking at, Cory? You looking at me or you looking at the fucking tree? Which... Bro, somebody tell Cory Booker it's okay to be gay. He's in the Democratic Party. So, hey, bro, look, just come out, man. Just come out. We all know. It's okay, bro. It's fine. It's weird that you're hiding it. Because it makes me think that, you think it wouldn't be accepted in the Democratic Party. And we know they're the most inclusive party in the country. They're just as inclusive as the Republican Party. Just as inclusive. Except for, in Republican Party, getting made the token is like meritocracy. It's whoever gets the most support. But, in the Democratic Party, you got to wait your damn turn until you get called upon when it's convenient for the rest of the party. And you need to make sure that you're standing in order from lightest to darkest before you do, so we know who's next in line. So it's from Kamala to Nina, how much do you trust Kevin De Leon?
Wow. I think you're going to come in there and say, we didn't get talking about this Senate race because we didn't know to talk about the point that you were talking about Pat Harris and David Hildebrand.
Yeah.
And really, to tell you the truth, I've been saying this for a while. That's where the true progressive battle lies.
Yeah.
But then we have this hand-picked TYT Chen Cougar candidate,
Allison Hartson.
Allison Hartson. I don't want to really hate on her too much. She's great. I love her values.
No.
These 3 progressives. No. But she threw herself in the ring.
Craig's too nice.
She threw herself in the ring too late, and Fiorello did a big reporting on this.
Throw her name under the bus.
It's just
Fiorello was snitching on you, Allison Hartman. She called me and said she got the JD freaking endorsement, but our revolution didn't endorse her. Well, why is that? Well, let's look it up. Who else got the revolution endorsement in California? And then you start looking, it's like, that's really weird. Anybody JD endorses, our revolution in California stays away from. I wonder why that is.
Because it has its problem. But, we talked about, too, you also have a great Justice Democrat candidate coming up at the end of the month of 26 in New York.
That's in New York, though.
That's awesome. Yeah. She was out of the head.
Ocasio, right?
Yeah. Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez.
If you haven't checked out that video,
amazing.
Check out that video.
The 26th.
Check out her. Oh,
but
man.
Listen, we're about 12 minutes away from finally get some early poll results coming in from California.
Nice.
We didn't have a good time. We didn't want to get what we wanted inside of New Jersey. Jim Keedy, District 4. We had high hopes for this guy. Jim Keedy is one of those guys who said, hey, man, he could be the president down the road.
Yeah. I saw his Jimmy Dore interview. Oh my God. I'm like, dude. Yeah. Like, his you would have thought, when I first was watching him, like, wow, it's interesting. I'm like, has he been in politics his entire life? Because this dude has the composure. Yeah. He was really quick on his feet. Like, he was very bold in how he stated, and he made sure that he qualified everything he said. Keedy was a smooth dude. I'm pretty sure he got cheated.
And what did he do with Nike?
What?
When he told Nike to go.
That's how
I forgot. I stopped wearing Nike years ago from this guy's story because he went to Singapore. He went across seas.
Yeah.
And he lived on their salary. He got sick, lost weight, slept with roaches, just to expose what these women and men are going through. And some of the women had to actually go down into their offices of the bosses and pull down their pants and show them blood to get a day off that they had a period. They had to, do that in front of, and he got those laws changed. So when I saw that movie, I stopped wearing Nike products. I made a protest almost 20 years ago, and here he was running. He fell short today. It kind of sucks.
Before we say anybody fell short,
yes,
we'll say that he has not won the election yet. And the reasoning is inconclusive at this moment. Because we all know how the Democratic Party gets down, especially in big races. However, in states that are like, there's no progressive support. And New Jersey, unfortunately, doesn't have a lot of progressive support.
Well, Cory Booker's a progressive.
Yeah. Yeah, he was also a great mayor. they love him in New Jersey.
But you know what I like about Bernie? He didn't hold anything back in hard feelings, and he signed on to Cory Booker's marijuana law.
Which he only did to cover up for the fact that he voted against Bernie's pharmaceutical law.
I know, but his law was so much better than Schumer's. Schumer's didn't get rid of and expunge old sentences.
But
so pretty much going to leave people in jail.
But here's what it comes down to with Cory Booker, right? There's going to be a lot of tough questions that are going to be asked to these candidates. And Hillary got to escape a lot of things, right? Because it was Hillary. Mm-hmm. Hillary got away with a lot that Cory Hillary thinks that she can get away with a lot, or Cory, thinks she can get away with a lot of stuff that Hillary did. So does Kamala, right? Mm-hmm. Because they're like, well, our neoliberals are loyal to it, but they don't understand, like, Hillary had a lot of weird loyalty. It was the party loyalty that you can only buy off of 25 years of DC clout and international donor promises. That's clout you can't. She's a movie. She's a real live mob boss. Bill Clinton instituted a Ukrainian coup just to get Uranium 1 passed. Yeah, it's that serious, people. They have that type of pull. Kamala, nobody knows who the hell Kamala Harris is, people. And it makes it immediately suspicious when you just throw her ass out there like, yeah, everything Kamala Harris says is important now. She's the next rising star. What the hell Kamala Harris done for you? Say to Cory Booker. Cory Booker, oh, you passed marijuana. That's awesome. Where were you when you had a chance to pass marijuana before?
Yeah, when you could actually pass it. When it actually can become a law.
Because there are Republicans who will vote in favor of a marijuana bill. Yeah. Don't let the hype fool you, bro. There's some states out there that are waiting for marijuana because their tobacco industry may not be as profitable as it used to be. Or they can start making the tobacco industry and the marijuana industry lobby against each other. Or they don't have a good enough, for example, the Iowas of the world, the Ohios of the world, whose industry, like the Rust Belt area, their industries are dying, but they do have the infrastructure to have a thriving marijuana industry. And guess what? Who's standing in the way? Well, the establishment, but the tobacco industry also.
You know who you look at who take. If you look at the FCC filings and you see they take money from Marlboro, you know they're not going to be for marijuana.
Exactly.
You know they're not going to be for the legalization of the
and now, like I said, the caveat
when
is
you see Marlboro, you know it. You know it's a snake in the grass. They might say something, but they ain't for it because Marlboro's paying them to say, no.
Yeah. I think the only exception is a state that is like they don't have a huge industry, and they need marijuana, so they will make marijuana lobbyists bid against tobacco, and now the marijuana lobbyists can't. So it's not like it's a little bit different now because all of a sudden Mitch McConnell even started. He's like, you know what, man, marijuana ain't that damn bad. I checked my penny stocks this morning, and
you got the cotton and lumber against it too as well because once again you get a legalized THC, even the stuff that doesn't that's not really THC. That's like all the hemp. You're going to replace everything. Bags,
everything.
Toilet paper is the biggest thing. You don't even need to bleach that shit because it's got like a natural kind of
biodegradable naturally.
Yes, it does. It is. And it tastes so damn good.
Yeah, hold up. Not the toilet paper.
The toilet paper tastes good.
Right, California turned out Greg, man.
Anyways, Dianne Feinstein tonight. What do you think about that name?
No, you can't just switch off from eating toilet paper.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
Don't try to die. You can't Dianne Feinstein. You can't Dianne Feinstein your way out of eating toilet. I don't give a damn.
My moms might watch this.
Strand?
Toilet paper.
I don't know what strand.
Luke Skywalker toilet paper. Skywalker. No.
So
look at this. Results are coming in. Here we go. We got it going on. So far, James Bradley is the Republican.
Okay, Republican, yeah.
He's in there. Where's Pat Harris? Do we see him anywhere?
No.
Kevin DeLeon's got 9.23. Rocky De La Fuente. Where are they at? Where's Pat Harris?
Rocky's actually doing pretty well. Hold up. Where's Pat Harris' name?
David Hildebrand is right here with 255.
Where's Pat Harris' name at, though? Up there?
Where?
Hold the... right here.
Pat Harris.
3%.
13. All right, 3%. So he's in there.
Yeah.
He's kind of getting there. As we suspected.
Hold
quick
up.
out the gate and look at Feinstein.
Of course.
All the early.
Hey, y'all. All the early votes
are counted first.
Dianne Feinstein was such a galvanizing presence in the California Democratic Party that she ended up with 33% of all the votes in the state from early voting.
Yep.
She's just that like I'm sure doesn't every Californian wake up and say, I can't wait to go vote for Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein?
Oh yeah, we love her.
Oh my God. I know it. I'm about to.
Have you ever met Stephen Jaffe?
Oh, I love
the
Jaffe,
gold jacket,
yeah, bro.
The gold corduroy jacket of
Stephen
Stephen Jaffe.
It's close. It's classic. It's and he's such a he be ripping Nancy Pelosi. It's dope. I really hope he wins, man. Yeah. It's gonna be difficult though.
We need to get rid of her. She's just awful.
We need to get rid of both.
Our values unite us.
Yeah,
we're capitalists. We're capitalists.
That's what I said. I was actually talking to him earlier. I said it's crazy because people like Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein and Hillary Clinton, they lie all the time. They literally lie all the time. But it was so weird because during the election, all Hillary Clinton had to do was lie and pretend to be progressive. But when she was asked progressive questions, she just couldn't do it because she legitimately doesn't even believe in the shit. So imagine trying to get her to pass some shit. Like, she lied about TPP straight to our faces. Like, she was like, oh, what are you talking about? Hey, I always hate TPP. Actually, it's not that bad, right? It's not really that bad. Like, she lied straight to our faces. So, why did you just say, I'm going to fight for Medicare for all? That's all you had to say.
No.
Well, I didn't believe you. Craig wouldn't have believed you. But some people would have believed you. Yeah. It sounded really good when Bernie said it. And they're like, I just tuned in, and she's saying it too, so maybe she's not that bad. So, but that's how... Like, she really cannot even fathom the idea of universal health care. She can't even fathom the idea of free college. She can't fathom the idea of even rebuilding our infrastructure. She couldn't even say that.
No.
But what she could fathom, though, and say straight to your face is, we need to go take out Assad. We need to have fierce and swift force on Syria for using chemical weapons, even though we have no idea where that came from, and nobody's ever actually validated it. But she was swift on it. That's a sociopath, people.
And this lady, can I say something, Niko? This lady knew about torture 10 years ago. She knew about torture 10 years ago, and she didn't do shit about it. She didn't give a damn. Nancy Pelosi and Dianne Feinstein haven't seen a war that they don't friggin' love. And they always vote. They'll say, resist, resist, resist. And on the other hand, they'll sign into law and they'll approve Trump's military budget that's loaded as can be, that's going to defense contractors.
I'm be honest with y'all.
Feinstein's husband is making the cash. Sorry.
I didn't know that, actually. But
look at these numbers.
I don't even know what Feinstein has ever done in her life. Like, I don't even. She was like, back in the day, like they used to consider her. They used to consider her a hero. Like she was a big deal when she first came on. Because like, I guess she was the first. Maybe she was the first House Democrat that was a woman in that district.
I think so.
Like, I mean, she ain't never done shit since then. Literally, never.
Well, you know what they say at the convention, though?
What's that?
Well, she's against gun control. I mean, she's for gun control. She's against the NRA. You know what I'm saying? What else?
I haven't actually believed that, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole thing is like, how can you approve all these wars and all this war budget and then be against the NRA?
Oh, isn't that beautiful? Bro, that's that democratic irony, bro. That's that walk it like I talk it, right? Hey, we need to make sure that we protect our people from guns. So make sure, though, while you're doing that, we screw your education system, we fuck up minimum wage, we take away healthcare, so they go into the military and kill those people over there with the guns that we say they can't have here. So it's like, we don't want you to use guns because we don't want y'all to kill each other before we send your ass overseas to kill somebody else. Yeah. That's what the Democrats really mean. Yeah. I don't want y'all to get confused by that.
Don't kill them over there, not over here.
Yeah. So
there are some early results coming in once again.
So Dianne Feinstein, people.
See.
Is at 36.9%.
All the early voting.
All early voting.
1% reporting. So you know it's precincts and whatnot. It's like the Fresno area.
And
look at this one, Governor. Here we go. We got Johnny Cox.
Cox. Holy shit.
Here we go. We got two Republicans.
Y'all know somebody's running for governor named
there's a lot of them. Johnny Cox.
I'm just saying, Johnny Cox though.
Johnny
That's
Cox.
a great thing or a bad thing.
Johnny Cox and Johnny Chang.
I bet they were about to take him on the belt like, who put this? There's no Johnny Cox running. I told you. That was just a nickname they used to give me in high school whenever I hop out the shower. No Johnny Cox. And it's like, no, sir, there's actually a Johnny Cox running for office. And I heard he has a 12-point lead. Yeah. He's coming in from behind. He's moving in from the rear. Johnny Cox, he's a big deal. But
what's his middle name? Nakaminez. Nakaminez.
He's Greek.
Johnny Nakaminez Cox.
He's Greek. His name is Nakaminez.
Nakaminez Cox.
So Dianne Feinstein, 37.8% right now. Mm-hmm. God damn it.
No, but that's once again.
I know, but it's just like
this is to deter you.
But this is I know, but this is how stupid they think we are. That's I guess what's so frustrating to me personally. It's like y'all think we this damn stupid to believe Dianne Feinstein got this many people to turn out to vote early.
Yeah.
Come on, come on, She hasn't done anything. People don't even remember she was.
How did 92,000 people already vote for her? 92,000. And that's only 1% reporting.
1% of the early voting
report? Early voting.
Bruh.
92,000 for this one. And Johnny Cox. I don't even know who Johnny Cox is. Fucking A.
Yo, hold up, people. Hold up.
See, can I tell you something, too, though?
What's that, man?
California has a lot of fuckery. It really does. It has a lot of neoliberalism. It's like New York because its leadership is controlled by establishment Democrats that don't want to let go.
Hey, you know what's wild too about New York, California? So remember, if you were a Democrat or even somebody who leaned left and you were going up against someone like George Bush, you used to get super excited at the surety of like what the results are going to be in California. You're like, I know, no matter what happens. You were like, remember back in the day we used to talk shit whenever we were all like rooting for Obama. I'm like, John Kerry done, cuz we know we got New York and California. He might as well go ahead and drop out. And now we're like, oh, fuck New York and California. How the fuck is this shit gonna go? We have no idea. Is it progressive? Are we gonna get cheated in LA? They're gonna throw our ballots away. They're gonna make us turn into provisional ballots. They're gonna lose names off of the damn roster. Like, you're just counting the ways you can get screwed with no lube. If you're a Republican or a progressive in either of those states. And it's crazy because, so in California specifically, right? They used to say this thing. They used to say like, you know, because it's somewhat racist, but it actually does apply in California. Because I used to get really pissed about it. But they say Democrats are using undocumented citizens to vote multiple times. And I used to be, or just vote at all too, but vote on top of that multiple times. Like, what the, that's stupid. That doesn't happen, but because that was a confirmation bias. Because in North Carolina, that is not happening. You lucky if you get a chance to vote in North Carolina, let alone somebody ain't got no ID. But the idea is, if once you voted with an ID once, you can vote in California again. Mm-hmm. But if you're in a Democratic-run district with a bunch of establishment Democrats, is that really to pay somebody off? They paid people to sit in the rafters at the DNC convention. So Republicans probably got a legitimate complaint right there, you know. And then, like I said, it's and people get upset because you want to talk about what needs to happen in each individual state when it comes to election fraud, and that's what we need to keep it at. It needs to be individual. Not every like Michigan isn't going to have the same problems as Iowa, or is that because that's a caucus state, right? Yeah. So like they're not going to have the same problems, and so it should be addressed separately. Like also, Michigan's not worried about people from Canada running in just to vote in the Michigan elections. They don't really care. Canada's so much better than here. It's just way colder, which is why I'll never be there. But like in California, like you really have incentives because it's not like the Republicans there treat y'all really nice anyway. Mm-hmm. So you're incentivized, and then you can hook me up with a couple of dollars though. You hook me up with a couple pesos. Look, I'm all about, you know, engaging in my civic duty, especially for money. So, especially for me, I can get to keep this guy out. So it is actually not inconceivable that is a reality. Because no matter on which side of the fence you are, I feel like there's always truth in the myth. Even if it, you know, say that's the reason what Trump oversimplified that shit, right? He would say, we got a problem with the rapists that they're sitting over here and the blah, blah, blah. And he was that was like really general and extremely inflammatory. But no matter what the immigration problem is, there is always some bad person coming over that could potentially be a criminal. It is just a fact. It doesn't, and yeah, it's true in America, but he knows that most Americans, but that's an American criminal. It's different. He pays taxes. That's a tax-paying criminal.
Hey, he's a tax-paying criminal.
He's a tax-paying criminal. And so he oversimplified those type of arguments because the American people don't want to have to go over the nuance of, in the Democrats part, the Democrats can't come out and say, yeah, there's election fraud going on. We're definitely benefiting from it. They can't do that. But Republicans will never openly come out and talk about gerrymandering. So that's why
it happens a lot.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
yeah, it happens pretty much all over the South and even the Midwest and pretty much everywhere that's the Republican control. So
Allison Hartson has pulled ahead of Pat Harris. Allison Hartson now
nobody know who
I don't know, but she's got 11,600 votes, 2.1% of the vote. She is pulled ahead of Pat Harris, who has 994.
Oh, but
David Hildebrand's way down below at 2671. Oh wait, the numbers have just changed again.
Oh, guess what, everybody? Somehow, Dianne Feinstein has 40% of all of the early voting. Oh my, yo, what was she doing in California, Craig, that made her so popular all of a sudden? Because I've never heard. I would love. Matter of fact, can we find those numbers from last year, from the last election? When did she
I did look at the last election. She did. It was a runoff against a Republican.
But do you know where her numbers were in this stage?
I don't know. More numbers just came in right now. De Leon is creeping higher to the second spot right now.
Of course he is.
Allison Hartson went up a little bit
more. I'm actually of the belief that if De Leon gets the runoff against Feinstein, they will design it to be him because they want the younger Democrats who can play the identity political game. And De Leon is ready and willing. I don't trust him. He's not a progressive. I'm sorry.
Not at all. So that's the argument right now. And Gavin Newsom is in a strong second place behind Johnny Cox right now. Once again, I think it's going to force that.
Okay, so
if Peter Ghost is not too far behind, he can creep in there and stuff like that.
Hold up, how do y'all feel about Gavin Newsom?
What's that?
How do y'all feel about Gavin Newsom?
He's got a lot of things in the FCC filing that make me nervous. He gets a lot of money from Blue Cross Blue Shield, real estate investors. I mean, I'm over the whole.
I saw that
committing adultery with his campaign manager's wife. That kind of thing was over there.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
You didn't know about that. So you don't follow California. That's old.
That's Charlie drama, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Antonio Reynoso committed adultery on his wife. And Delaney Easton called both, and she's like, I don't think anybody up here playing the boys' game deserved to run for office. She said,
no.
She called him out, but yes.
I mean, oh, man, look at Gavin Newsom. Yeah, have y'all ever seen Gavin Newsom? Yo, Google Gavin Newsom right now. Tell me if he looked at your wife, you wouldn't punch him in the throat. Because he looks like he's looking at me through the picture right now like he's trying to come after my girl. Right. Look at his picture, Craig.
I got
Bro, look at his picture.
You ready for this
one?
Oh,
my God.
You ready to be blown away?
Yo, hold that.
I got something for you.
Go ahead.
Ready? All right.
Go.
Take a deep breath. Gavin Newsom is Nancy Pelosi's nephew.
That makes so much sense. But let me tell you what's so crazy about this, bro.
Nancy Pelosi.
Y'all hear this, man? He said he was more surprised at the fact that he was related to Nancy Pelosi than he was. He just said casually, "Yeah, man," and he fucked his campaign manager's wife. Yeah. But that's California stuff, though. That's what it is. But he's Nancy Pelosi's nephew.
Because you know, I'm a bigger person. I grew from it. I've learned. I'm glad.
Listen, where are my California people at on Facebook? Where the California people at? Because y'all know I'm crying right now from Craig just casually saying Gavin Newsom had sex with his campaign manager's wife. And yeah, that's not a big deal. But he's Nancy Pelosi's son. Our grandson. Not grandson. He looked like he'd be a grandson.
I'll take him over the Republican, but I'd rather have a progressive against him. If he had a chance, if Johnny Chang can get up there and take him over, Johnny Chang.
Wait a minute.
What?
Don't y'all have a whole election?
Yeah.
Why the hell they check off Dianne Feinstein already? Bruh, Dianne Feinstein just won the whole election with just the early. You're joking.
No, she got 3%
Where are we at?
3% reporting.
But where are we at? No. Go down. Scroll down. This is early voting.
Yes.
You're lying. No.
Well, no, there's 3% of the precincts. 744 out of 22,000 precincts almost.
So what you just told me is there's 3%. We need fucking screenshot.
3%.
Somebody go to New York Times and screenshot this shit right now and send it to me.
3%.
With 3%. Dianne Feinstein's running for what position again? Senate. The entire state of California has to vote. With 3% of the reporting, they just gave it to Dianne Feinstein.
Yep. Welcome to California. We got sandy beaches, beautiful avocado, and screwed up election systems over here because Dianne Feinstein. First of all, where are the 287,000 people? Can you bring them to me right now so I can push them in a pool somewhere? I don't want to do something
push them in a pool and then throw the top on top of the pool. Throw the top on
something.
Bro.
Now here it comes. But this is the jungle primary. Now you got all these people behind him. Now it's just a race to the finish line.
Bro, so essentially what they just did was, because look, if you add up the numbers, bro, there's not that much left. So essentially, what they just did was they just wanted to initially kill even the idea that Kevin De Leon was close to her.
Yeah.
That's what's scary. So you want to know what's even scarier? I'm going to put you in for a little loop. I believe. I mean, all the early voting, they're not counting them shits. They're throwing them away and giving them to Feinstein. But y'all don't have any voting machines, do you? Do y'all have voting machines?
Yeah, they have voting machines.
Yeah, and so
I did a mail-in this time, so it's the first time voting. It would be my first time voting in this district.
No, once again, I don't like Kevin De Leon, but he is a threat to the Feinstein system that is California, and all of them benefit because she's in the Hillary Clinton network, right? Mm-hmm. So
look at this one.
Gavin Newsom.
Johnny.
It's Mr. Screw Your Girl. Hey, it's Mr. Steal Your Girl is in first place.
Nancy Pelosi is my aunt, and I'll do what I want to do.
Ain't that crazy? So they check off. Listen, people, it's California. They checked off Dianne Feinstein the same minute that happened. Gavin Newsom made a 10-point jump, and it's actually almost go back up to his. Go up to his real quick. It looks like they literally switched them because Johnny Cox was beating him by at least 6 inches on the bar right here.
Yeah,
at least 6 inches.
That was a big jump.
Yeah, it was a big jump.
That's a big jump.
And I know
this is all early voting, so I'm just...
Yeah, but Gavin is gonna win.
Look at this. Look at Allison Hartson.
Oh man, we're gonna have Nancy Pelosi, his her nephew, and Dianne Feinstein.
Who's voting for all these other people here? I never even seen Rocky De La Fuente at an organization. Tom Balzer.
Well, they know him from the election. They know him from the election.
Yeah, I know, but
Rocky De La Fuente likes going on television and complaining, so he always throws his name in the ballot, and he got a good amount. I don't believe that though. I believe if we're going to talk about early voting, I think that David and Pat would actually be ahead of Dianne Feinstein because of how many people in California, progressives in California. But that's the problem. The mail-ins, bro.
That's all.
They're like
establishment.
And we all agree to say Feinstein. Okay.
Get it in. Nope.
Bullshit.
There's some district house numbers coming in. Nothing from any of the ones we're looking at right now. Here's 22. Devin Nunes. Looks like he's a Republican. But he's gonna get.
Do we have any updates from Kenneth Mejia?
Kenneth Mejia in 34. Let me go to it right now.
Oh, damn. We didn't check.
Nothing yet. Nothing coming in. But District 35.
But they already listed him as last, in case you were curious. They already listed him as last. And I don't think it's based off of... Oh, actually, I think it is based off of alphabetical order. Am I lying? Yeah, it is. It was. Damn.
What was this one? 39.
Oh, I'm about to say, they checking that shit already, too?
39. Andy Thornburn, who was the nationally endorsed, is at 7.9. He's not in the reach of the runoff just yet, so we got to keep an eye on that one.
Oh, really quick. So, I don't know if you all are familiar with how California elections work.
Jungle primary.
They have a jungle primary, which means they throw all their names into a hat and they go into a cage, and they have J.R. King announce they get their own theme music, and at WrestleMania, the main event is the California Democratic primaries. Or actually, no, just the California primaries, because I'm sure that all of you all know that. Remember, we was having this discussion about what the hell's going on in California. What do you mean there are closed primaries? That makes no sense, because it doesn't make sense. It actually is against California's constitution to have closed primary elections, but only when it's convenient for them, actually. So that's why. And the Republicans aren't here to fight back on their primary elections, and so they can't get away with it in the state because the Republicans can fight back. But Republicans ain't gonna get involved in that shit in the Democratic primary, and so they actually have to run off. You can pretty much have as many names in the race as you want to, and the final two have to do a runoff. It's like kind of somewhat of a variation of ranked choice voting. What's up?
Well, I was gonna say the one that me and Fiorello we've been going down and moderating the debate for 48. You might know Dana Rohrabacher. You might have heard the name. He's been on Bill Maher for years. Back in the days, he was considered to be like a moderate Republican. Mm-hmm. But until Trump started coming along, he's getting really pro-Trump. They kind of say that he's like the biggest conspirator within the Russian investigation. Well, they think his district is flippable. So the California Party...
I doubt it.
The California Democratic Party endorsed Hans Kierstead, but the DCC and the National Party endorsed Harley Rauda. And so you have two different Democratic, the national versus the state.
Oh, they have
endorsing each one.
They didn't have a conversation.
Oh my lord, it's just ridiculous. Now the
okay, hold on. So really quick, you said so Dana
Rohrabacher.
She's he. Oh,
it's a male Dana.
Okay, so Dana is a male Dana.
Yes,
got you. Okay, so Dana is the biggest Trump supporter.
Yes,
saying, oh, he's gonna win. That's go ahead.
He's a big Trump supporter
in
Orange County district,
and he probably touting it. Ugh. You mean in a rich Orange County district?
Rich Orange County district.
Where a lot of white people...
believe in the Russian, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. The state party said Hans Kierstead, STEM cell researcher, and then the DCC, the D-Trip, and the National Democratic Party.
You can't split two... Okay, so I think I know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're making it so that no matter what, they get somebody in the race. And so if you put money on both of your horses, as long as one of them cross the finish line, then I get that. But like at the end of the day, when you get, I'm just telling you, if he's already sitting, and if Trump won that district, like it's you not beating a Trumper in a Trump, like a legitimate Trumper who been in there from the beginning and who is getting attacked. Yeah. That is the most secure your seat is ever going to be, because Trump, y'all keep pretending like Trump's people is not real. His voter block is very real. Oh, yeah. And I hate to break it to y'all. I don't know if I told Craig about this actually. Before they started finally calling it what it was, I said, Craig, Democrats got some problems. And they were like, what? Trump he's higher in the polls than they thought. he's a little bit higher. And they were like, no, not Craig. But I'm saying people were just like, no, but these polls, no, those polls are lying. They're throwing those polls out to get you to change your mind, but they like him 60% on the economy. They like him on not likability. His likability won't that high, but like pretty much on all the main things on the military. You know, he's always talking about the military, so they like him on the military shit. Black people like him more than Hillary Clinton now. Okay, like I'm not. This is a fact, people.
I know.
I sat with a consultant, and they told me this, and I was like, "You're joking." I kind of had a feeling, cause I'm like, "Yo, I just keep seeing Trump hate from the same people, and they're like in their little echo chamber, and 98% of them are from California, and the rest are from New York. So, like, and the rest of us are worried about winning elections. Like, so we don't have time to bash Trump. Trump don't get my Florida district where I need to be at. Okay, so, and you know, so at that point, you had to start wondering, are the Democrats really trying to win in 2020? Because when getting thrown in a federal investigation boosts your chance to hold your seat, you are doing a shitty job as a party on the opposing team, homie. Like, oh my God. Like, it's crazy because it's crazy. Right? He said that he was like, yeah, he's a big Trump supporter and he's one of the main targets in the Russiagate investigation. And I'm like, oh, damn, he's really about to win then.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
like, man, Democrats, get it together. Gavin, stop messing with people's wives. I'm not going to forget that. Gavin Newsom, you.
De Leon is moving closer. He's at 8.8. He's in third place. James Bradley, the Republican, which they always talk about. Hey, man, this is going to split this vote up. Allison Hartson's moved up. She's got 2% of the vote, 15,000. Pat Harris got about 12,000. And our boy David Hildebrand, he's a little bit down. He's got 3,200.
Okay, so my question is, how is Pat Harris polling so high by unbiased polls, and all of a sudden he only has 1% of the 1.6% of the vote?
Because Johnny Cox fixed the votes, and I think.
Oh, God.
Johnny Cox. Delaney Easton, get some votes. 15,000. She's behind Johnny Chan.
Johnny Cox is catching up. Johnny Cox. Boy, I tell you, he coming from behind.
He's not.
He came from 12 points behind.
The guy in 48, Kevin Kingsinger, is the one we fucking endorsed, but nothing yet so far out of him. District 4, I believe that had Rosa Calderon. She's not done what we thought she'd done, but once again, this is the early voting. And it's Tom McClintock is going after him. There was 4 Democrats trying to catch him. Rosa Calderon.
So Jennifer Vickers asked, so does that mean there would be a runoff for Feinstein? So yes and no. There will be probably a runoff, but it won't be one of ours.
Right now, I'm at this point. I'm kind of hoping for De Leon to get in there, but it's still a long ways to go. It's 3% reporting. Let's see how these numbers change. There's a lot of people. There's supposed to be 7 million plus votes in this at minimum, because there could be close to 8 million votes.
Caveat.
What's that?
5 million of votes gonna get thrown away. So it was like probably like really like 2 point. And then this 8 million to how many provisional ballots and mail-in ballots?
They're already starting. They're already starting.
So yeah,
they're thwarting that vote right out the gate.
They're throwing. It's going to Diane, guys, because it's just. I knew
she was definitely getting in this.
We knew that like nobody's. Now here's what I do like though. If you get a Republican to take out Dianne Feinstein, that leaves their fundraising in that area open. It leaves that race wide open because Dianne Feinstein can't come back in, and that means you have the highest name recognition would be between Kevin De Leon and Pat Harris, and even David Hildebrand now has a chance to kind of either work with Pat Harris and bolster their campaign together, or vice versa.
Yes.
Or he can bolster his own name, which is perfectly fine in my opinion as well if you're going to have a runoff election. Because that point, it's really going to be who's the best candidate versus who looks like they can beat Feinstein in a runoff. So I like that in the long game. I mean, because like a Republican's not a Republican wins, they're not holding that seat long because of the area.
District 30 has a guy by the name of John Pelzer. He got on the scoreboard. He's got 1 vote. 1% of the 309%. 1 out of 319 precincts have reported. John Pelzer, my boy, got 1 vote so far.
Hey, it's still 0.7%.
Yeah, it's like...
That's a lot, bro. In the grand scheme.
Oh, my Lord. Let's see. Take a look. Kenneth Mejia. No numbers have come in for Kevin Mejia yet.
Already. Somebody sent in a CNN. Oh, wow. Whoa. Is this CNN that's actually reporting irregularities?
No.
Oh, my God. Error leaves 118,000. Of course, y'all just fucking reported it. He just reported it.
Where is Angelica Duena? Sometimes I just don't even know what's going on with
so
this
if 118,000 gets left, you should have stopped the polling. The election should have been suspended, and you should have reconciled that issue. That is what a responsible board of elections would do. That's what a responsible board of elections, right? Because you think people are gonna be madder if they gotta come out and vote again, or they're gonna be madder if they know. I know where this fucking road
but they've been taking it lying down every single time they accept it. I mean, it's
not in California, not in California, boy.
Yeah, but it happened. It just happened.
Not in New York. I mean, not in New York. Yeah, they tried that.
New York was all those Brooklyn voters got thrown off 180,000.
Yeah, they messed with the wrong borough. Yeah. Y'all, boy, listen.
They got away.
I was there. Y'all seen the video. Y'all know I was there.
I know.
But look. When I tell you, they mess with the wrong. You can't purge Brooklyn people. They looking for reasons to get mad at people.
Yeah,
B.
I know, right?
They was in there clapping. Hey, B. Look, B. You need to put my vote or put my name back on that registration. I've been on that registration since Biggie was alive. All right. I took a picture for a memorial. When I signed up, I know I was in there, B. I put Bernie, Brooklyn, because I put B's up. It was for Bernie. I said that Bernie, B's up, Sanders, and they, but in all seriousness, y'all come on. You know Brooklyn voters are not going to take that laying down. And so, fun fact about that story. So, obviously, you remember the video I did, like, I won't say cussing them out, but cussing them out. Did you ever see that video?
Which one?
For New York at the Board of Elections meeting?
I think I saw that.
Yeah. The woman who I was talking to was looking at me like a deer caught in the headlights because she thought I was going to be really nice because I am really nice and I had planned on being really nice. But I was like the second to last person to speak, so I saw everything. I was livid. They were very denigrating, condescending, like, we got it. Don't worry about it. You just stay over there. We'll stay over here. Mind your own business.
Pretty much.
And so that lady, actually, after the video went viral, they were all over the New York newspaper. It was actually a good time for me because people were calling me, texting me, asking about it. I had several interviews in New York. Anyway, her law firm, it doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Yeah, they had to shut it down. So that was a victory. Why do you think a lot of them got publicly shamed for what they did at that Board of Elections meeting? Why do you think that it eventually came out yeah, we messed up, our bad? They're trying to rebrand themselves. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, you affect somebody's bottom dollar, anybody's willing to listen to you. It's true.
It's all about the Benjamins. It always has been. And whatnot. There's still a lot of people hanging out with us.
I'm gonna tell you the significance of the phrase. It's all about the Benjamins.
No.
Notice something. Benjamin, he's on a $100 bill, right? $100 bill. And guess who the only man on the dollar bill that wasn't president of the United States of America but had the most pull and still ends up on the dollar bill? Not just any dollar bill, the blue ones. Click. I ain't got one on me, so I had to do this.
Franklin?
Yeah.
Benjamin
Franklin, he even knew, look, hey man, you should run for office. Hell no. Hell no. But you know everybody, and you're damn right. I got all these relationships with everybody on every side, on every party, with all these businesses where everybody buy from. I can talk and convince anybody to do anything I want, and I'm not trying to ruin that to run for president. See ya. Have a nice day. Well, Ben, you still want to be on the bill because you real. Yeah, I got you, man. I go ahead and take my portrait real quick. Bruh, Benjamin was smart. That's why, it's all about the Benjamins. Because Benjamin was smart enough to know if you don't control politics, you can't necessarily be in office to do so. Mm-hmm. And yet, y'all still read about him in your history books. Mm-hmm. And he was a thought. He was a hoe. Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, he was a hoe.
So that probably would have gotten exposed. Okay, so it's that too. He couldn't go on his frequent trips to France because he loved going to France. Pretty much was fluent in French, I believe. But yeah, bro, I feel like, unfortunately, like Benjamin Franklin is like the first world-renowned operative, political operative. Like, cause that's all he did was finesse with people, like, and control the outcome. Like, bro, he signed the Declaration of Independence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was there. I don't know if he signed it.
But that would be crazy because he didn't even hold office, bro.
No, he signed it. He was a Pennsylvania delegate.
He was a delegate,
yeah. In fact, what's his name? There was 3 delegates in Pennsylvania.
And you think he couldn't have won senator? You don't think he could have won representative? You don't think he could have won for president and won? Yeah. But why? Because I could win. So I already won. See, that's the thing about Trump. Trump won't win it, right? His money was going down a little bit. Y'all don't know. I got the insider because I was, I work with the lawyers who was up in his pockets. So
there is no reporting yet of Nancy Pelosi and Stephen Jaffe and Shahid Buttar.
Let me just
have you seen Shahid
he's
Buttar
cool.
yet?
Actually,
he's pretty cool, man. I like
Tim interviewed him. Tim interviewed him,
and so did Lee Camp. And it was like, all right, he came on late. I still hope that Jaffe gets it over him, but
yeah, I think
that runoff.
I think that Jaffe could get into that runoff.
I actually believe anybody. That cat you got in that room, put him in the runoff. I'm gonna
which one? Which one?
Any one of those four.
I don't know, man.
I'll vote for Kane before I vote for Nancy Pelosi.
Now my dog is
lot smarter than Nancy.
A lot smarter than Nancy.
Come on with that woman, man. That woman just tried.
At least Kane does what the people who pay for him tell him to do. Nancy doesn't do that. Well, she does, but not for y'all. Like.
No.
For like the military-industrial complex and pretty much anybody. It seems like Nancy Pelosi actually goes out of the way to not be progressive. It looks like she makes a conscious effort sometimes. Like, I'm like, Nancy, yo, I know you gotta like keep up a facade, but you look like you starting to enjoy this shit. Like, like you look like you really don't want you don't want anybody to have health care. What? No. Like it can because
you don't care about torture,
bro. Because like in California. Anthony Rendon. Oh, Maria Estrada. How's her election doing?
Let's take a look. I haven't looked. There was no results yet. Let's go to the state Senate seat. Let's take a look. Maria Estrada. She is in number. I always gotta get my numbers mixed up. There's so much. She's AD 36 State Assembly. 63. Sorry. 63 State Assembly. Let's get down here.
She's the one going up against.
By the way, Lieutenant Governor right here right now. Where is Gail McLaughlin? She is down low right now.
Cole Harris. But please don't tell me that's anybody related to Kamala.
No.
Oh, thank Jesus.
But Eleni Kounalakis is the one I told you about. She was the Lieutenant Governor whose daddy gave her all the money. All right, so State Assembly, right? Or she State Senate? State Senate, I believe. Let me double check.
No, she State Assembly.
You're right. She State Assembly.
Maria would never want to run for State Senate.
All right, so 63.
I know you, Maria. You wouldn't want to be nowhere near that State Senate.
No votes reported yet.
Hold on.
No.
But everybody else is...
Well, no, there's a bunch of no votes reported yet, so it's...
That's a big race, though.
Yeah, because she's Maria Estrada's going to be on the ground at the polling spots with her crew protecting every single vote. That's a lion in a cage.
Hey,
do not mess with a lion in a cage.
I'm telling you. Hey, look, Anthony. Big
Anthony. Anthony. Go
ahead,
tell him, Niko.
Listen.
Anthony.
If you going to try to cheat, I hope you did all your work 2 weeks ago. Because you ain't going to cheat with Maria Estrada, bruh. I'm telling you, she is going to call you out so fast. She out here in people's ballots like this. What's that say? Hey, make sure you bold it, circle it, put a check mark by it. Let me take a picture of it, send it to my database, post it to Facebook, so everybody need to know who you voted for. So when I tell Anthony Rendon he cheated, Maria going to have all the receipts, okay? She's going to be calling newscasters. She's going to be calling everyone at her independent journalist friend. Look, I'm telling you, Anthony Rendon, listen, you should be scared, dog. Maria's scary. She's scary, yo. She don't play. She's a firecracker. She really is. She really is.
Got some good news, though.
What's that?
James Aliyah, he's been endorsed by a lot of progressives. We know who he is. Actually, Fiorella was supposed to do an interview with him. She might get it doing soon. But he's almost in a dead heat tie in his district with Larry Wisk. Remember, it's only the top two got a game. 35 and 33%. So the two of them are grabbing the majority of the votes, which is good because they don't have to beat him right now. You just got to get in the top two. So James Aliyah was the name coming out. We haven't heard anything from Rachel Brunke. Rachel Brunke is this green girl. She's a girl. She's a green. She's been a green for many years.
Okay.
She does the San Pedro, Long Beach area. This girl is a native. Not Native American. She's a. First of all, she's about Reagan. She talks about. She's an educator. She talks about how all the attack on labor and our taxes came to fruition.
Yeah.
Yes, but she is Latin American. She lived in Honduras for 3 years. This lady talks about the attacks of the CIA with their coups. She's an educator about this. She's amazing.
Wow.
She's got a lot of great ideas. And no reports have been coming in yet, but we're going to keep an eye on Rachel Brunke because we believe it's a big green kind of town. It's San Pedro in Long Beach.
Rachel Brunke? Oh, she married?
Rachel Brunke. I don't know if she's married.
No, I said you said she was Latina. I'm like, hold up, damn.
No, she's from. She went to. Oh my God! I got my Republican friends talking about Johnny Cox. Don't do it.
Johnny Cox.
I don't want to talk about.
Man, get off the Cox.
I don't know about Johnny Cox.
Get off the Cox.
Get off the Cox.
Come on, man. Hey, I don't know who's worse. I don't know whose cock is worse.
Hey, listen.
Is it Newsom or Johnny?
It looks like they've called a race for a progressive state senate 36. Margie Castellano. They got her marked off. She's in. Well, I don't even know. I don't. Was she running uncontested?
Is she running uncontested? No,
she's running. Bates is there.
So no. But the Democrats didn't run anybody against her.
No.
That's crazy. They let that one slip through the cracks.
Yeah, well, that went through the cracks.
What district?
State Senate 36.
Where's that at?
I don't know exactly. I gotta find that out.
It should be on the map, right?
Let me see.
Let's check. Probably not though. That'd probably be too much work for them. Where the hell? I could have sworn we just saw that map.
No map yet. Let's take a look at that Johnny Cox real quick, though.
There's a map right there.
Wait, look at this race. Kevin De Leon is getting within striking distance of James Bradley. I think he'll be able to catch him. Allison Hartson is really getting up there at 22,000. Pat Harris, almost 18,000, so he's not too far behind.
How the hell does Allison Hartson have 22,000 votes and nobody knows who the fuck she is?
Because they got the friggin' TYT
minions. but
TYT minions.
But let's be. I know they got a lot of California supporters, right? Mm-hmm. But let's be honest. Nobody knew who the hell Allison. I had to tell all of my progressive independent colleagues who this woman was. They were like, yeah, someone named Allison Hartson has to come on my show. Who's she running? I'm like, actually, she's in the Kevin De Leon, Dianne Feinstein, David Hildebrand, Pat Harris. They're like, what? When did she get in that? Yeah, because everybody would know you because everybody knows the people involved, the main people involved in that race. But nobody knew who she was. Then you find out, well, she's endorsed by the Democrats. I was like, how the hell they endorse her so quick? Nobody knows who the hell she is. And then you're like, oh, Jake selected her. Got it.
There you go.
Got it.
No news yet from the Nancy Pelosi district.
By the way, isn't it kind of crazy, right? How Cenk and Kyle they're done with the Justice Democrats, but they literally still push Justice Democrats like they still work for them. Isn't that crazy? That's just weird how that works. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying suspicious. I'm just saying it looks suspicious. That's all. It's really weird because it's mainly in the California races, and then of course they're gonna ride the coattails of Ocasio just like they ride the coattails of Jimmy.
She's so awesome
because she is amazing. She's so amazing that the JDs try to get her to do something that she was uncomfortable with, which I'm sure they've probably realized at this point. She would call them out. That's the kind of person she is, and she makes really good commercials. I felt like moving back to New York and living in the Bronx. Yo, I'm a sellout for leaving New York. I should have stood there and fought.
What's wrong with you? Dude, I loved it. I love her. When I hear her speak, man, I get chills in my bones. This lady is dope. She is, and her team, you got a great ground game. And that's supposedly, they said, Allison Hartson, her team has been talking about their ground game. We got a good ground game.
Bro, their ground. What is their ground game when nobody knows who you are? And the only thing progressives ever know about you is that you don't go to events, and when you finally do go, you sit out there like a fucking pouted child and smoke a cigarette and never talk to anybody. That's everything. And listen, people. I mean, I ain't gonna call out no names on my timeline, but I follow progressives, and I also follow the progressives who think they're progressives, but they're really neoliberals trying to figure things out. Even they don't like Allison Hartson, bro.
They don't.
You know, the progressives that are yeah, I really like Pat Harris, but I'm gonna vote for Kevin De Leon. Those kinds. They still figuring things out. And Allison Hartson, it's one of those, if you're figuring things out, that's the one you will vote for, just like a Kevin De Leon or a, not a Cory Booker, but, or Ro Khanna. Yeah, like they figuring things out. And they're like, man, Allison Hartson, she be standing people up. She ain't coming out to the barbecues, to the skating rink meetings, to the bonfires, to the Bernie greet. You know, like she didn't make the Bernie meet and greet, bro. She can't be in the lead right now. That's how it works. If you didn't make the meet and greet, you're not in the lead. If you're calling yourself a progressive, I don't give a damn if you're a JD.
Yeah.
And the fact that once again she didn't have the Our Revolution endorsement, but it's still doing so well, and Pat Harris got the local one, right?
No, well, Pat Harris.
Oh no, Hildebrand got it.
The Hildebrand had the most Our Revolution locals. Nobody got the national one from the Senate.
They stayed out of it. They were going to stay out of it.
A bunch of counties and stuff. David got like 9. I think that Pat got 3, and Allison got 3.
That's Dianne Feinstein. Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, no, Dianne Feinstein.
They're not endorsing nobody.
But this is a nice local race right here, District 49. It's in Orange County once again. This is Daryl Ice's district. You know, I know there's so much stuff. There's so much to digest. It's really a political junkie's dream when it comes to primary nights. Doug Applegate came within very close to beating Daryl Issa the last time they had a runoff. Doug Applegate's running again. Daryl Issa is out. Diane Harkey has been the Republican choice.
Oh, he's within striking distance.
Mike Levin, who's come into play, who's been endorsed by some celebrities, one I know in fact, he's also been found to be a fracking lobbyist.
At the same time?
Well, they years ago.
Oh, okay.
So they found out, they kind of revealed him, whatnot. He's in second place now in the runoff. He was endorsed by the D-Trip, of course. And Doug Applegate is in fourth place with 7.9% of the vote. It's another vote to pay attention to. Yeah.
Fred said, do we need to chip in for a whiteboard?
Danielle St. John, I met her before. I met her at the Bernie's Diner. The reunion. She's a Green Party candidate running in there. She's down way below, but she does have some 52 votes. Danielle St. John, if you want to check her out, really nice person. Definitely want to take a look at her. Now, we do have another a national endorsed candidate, Campa Najjar, a Democrat, running in 50. Right now is holding a slight lead over Josh Butner.
Oh, wow.
District 50 to get into the runoff. The Republican has already sealed it. It's a Republican district. Right now, we're going to try to see.
Oh, by the way, I want y'all to notice this consistent pattern. So go to Republican-dominated districts and look at where the progressives are.
Yeah.
Versus the Democratic-dominated districts, and the progressives are nowhere to be seen. Yeah. So the consistent thing that we're seeing is where the Republicans are like already holding a seat, or it's like a Republican-dominated district. The progressives are within striking distance every single time. But the Feinstein districts of the world, like the state of California in general, like
so you're saying if the Republicans count the vote, progressives get more votes.
I don't know.
If Democrats count the votes, the progressives are nowhere to be seen.
Exactly. And they're not going to throw and they're not going to throw ballots away.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they may throw them away, but like they're going to throw them away for the establishment Democrat and not the progressive, because they're going to think that they have a better chance of being progressives, because everybody knows when progressives get seen in one-on-one races, they get beat, which is not true, by the way.
Yeah. That's exactly what's coming true for District 50. It's a Republican-dominated district. They've already, you know what I'm saying? And he's already up, and the progressive is getting his votes counted.
And this man's name is Campa Najjar.
Yeah.
He got the most unpronounceable,
Amar.
Yeah, his name is Amar Campa Najjar. Yeah, like in a Republican-dominated district, he's in second place, about to get in a runoff against a Republican. But Pat Harris, who was in the polls second to Dianne Feinstein, second the last time I checked. That was yesterday.
Yeah.
He was second, and this was the poll was for everybody, but was second to Feinstein. But all of a sudden, Allison Hartson is jumping him.
Yeah.
Kevin De Leon.
Look at that.
Literally made a 3-person jump.
Look at that. Kevin De Leon is within 0.5% of James Bradley.
Kevin De Leon is going to run off against Feinstein.
If De Leon runs off against Feinstein, I guess we got some apologizing to do to the progressives out there who said that De Leon was the only one who really had a shot. That's what they said. We didn't want to hear it.
Well, okay, so I'm not going to apologize to the progressives out there who said Kevin De Leon was the only one that really had a shot. Because, I mean, I do agree with you. Kevin De Leon was the only one that really had a shot. But it's because he's establishment. Why the hell do you not understand that you inherently know this? Because when you say things like, I mean, mostly I agree with David and Pat, but Kevin De Leon is really the only one who has a shot. Well, why do you think that is? Did the Democratic Party endorse him at the convention?
Who?
The Democratic Party of California.
No,
they got the
he fell short.
What's
the
that?
delegate process? He was supposed to get at least 60%.
He got some big endorsement though. No, he didn't get the endorsement. He has
been endorsed by Ro Khanna.
Well, yeah, that's not good. That's not really a great thing because he should have endorsed Pat Harris. Like Ro Khanna looks like an awkward Splinter Cell. If you ever see Ro Khanna at an event, he walks around like this really weird, like, "Hey guys, I'm here to spy." Yeah. And like, bro, what's your opinion about this? Is anybody recording?
Pat Hacker's with us, man. Pat Hacker's a good guy.
I love Pat, man.
Pat Hacker, thank you for always being around, man. That's awesome, bud. It really is great.
But you're like, Kevin De Leon was the reason that Dianne Feinstein didn't get the endorsement. How about that? Because she fell short too. It was because of Kevin De Leon. Now, anybody with that much pull within the DNC of any state is not on your team, man.
No.
That's just an argument within the Latino minority group within the Democratic establishment and the white people. That's it. It doesn't mean that he's more progressive. It just means that he's younger, better looking, and Latino. Like, that's the only difference between, and he might be more beneficial when it comes to galvanizing votes and fundraising when it comes to 2020, because that's what all these elections are about. For the establishment. It's who is going to help get Trump out, because we are going to jail if he don't leave soon. So, like, he seems to not be playing about this. Ask Andrew McCabe. You thought he was joking. I think he's really pissed about what y'all tried to do to him. So,
there's another race we've been paying attention to. It's Secretary of State. We talked about Alex Padilla. Have obviously is locking it up. The Democratic vote, he's almost got over 500,000 votes. The Republican, Mark Musser, who was supposed to be a big performance tonight, they expected it, was in second place. And then our guy, Ruben Major, is down in 4. Trying to knock on the door. This looks like an uphill battle. 7% reporting. Ruben Major, we thought we had a lot of expectations from. Actually, we gave the interview Ruben Major. Fee interviewed Michael Feinstein, who's a little bit down below. He's the Green Party candidate. And then C.T. Weber the other day.
Wow, 21,000 votes, though. That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really expect him to get that high.
I mean, yeah.
So who do we have in Attorney General race? Do we have anybody?
Well, I mean, Dave Jones is supposed to be our guy. He's the independent. He's the Democrat that was the progressive in this race. As you know, Xavier Becerra, however you say his name, is a big.
You sure it's not Becerra?
Becerra.
Yeah, it's Becerra.
He's a big Clinton follower. So, and then we got these measurements going on. Most of them we want to no, except for 70. We wanted yes, and that's not going the right way.
Hold on, what's 70?
70 was the. I can't remember what it was.
Talking about propositions.
Propositions.
Yo, people don't know about the proposition that, like, one of the biggest propositions to change the face of California college system. It literally has created really a whole nother system. Like, so there was a bill that got, or a proposition that got made, which people think it was a setup. Like, it was to essentially make sure that no other factor is considered when you're running for college. Like, no other factor, not your circumstances, not not being maybe undocumented citizen. So obviously your opportunities and your network isn't the same. Not being in a bad neighborhood, you know, the things that you have to consider to cover disparities. So the Cal system pretty much became ridiculous when it comes to them. So what, UCLA has a 75% Asian population.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Cal Berkeley they have a 1% minority population, something like that. It's insane. And so what that did, however, was then funnel everybody into junior colleges. Like, so the junior college industry boomed, and is booming right now in California, because of the Cal system being ridiculously exclusive. So these propositions right now, people don't pay attention to them. You know, until we gets on it. And everybody in the world is literally paying attention to just your state. They're like, what we gonna do, baby? Let me know if I can drive across that border now.
Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis, the one I interviewed at the Cal, and she didn't want, her campaign manager did not want her interviewing us. He was like, no. She's like, no, I'll take a couple questions, because she knew I was like from Rompacone and Nell's situation.
She didn't want,
she didn't want to be talking about progressives.
Craig be snitching, but Craig like, you said you didn't want to interview with me because I asked progressive questions?
Mm.
Why don't you want to ask progressive questions, lady? Yeah, that's Craig.
Well, she's number one. She's in first place right now. She's holding the lead. She's got 22.3% of the vote. This is the girl who put in $2 million of her own money, I think, and $5 million of daddy's money.
Motherfucker! Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where you get
most kids want to buy? Most daddies want to buy their kids a pony. This girl's daddy want to buy her a lieutenant governor's seat. Now, Gail McLaughlin is way too far down right now. I did not expect this. Gail McLaughlin is a powerhouse.
Yes, you did.
Expected her to be up there.
The Democrats made sure she didn't get that. Because what you got to remember is they don't actually want like a close race, right? So if they went in those big nationally recognized races, they're like, because look what happened in California. Oh, they had a close race in a state seat. No, excuse me, in a House seat, and it made national news because the vote flipped. Like it flipped in front of everybody's eyes, and people got recordings of it. Like so, and that made national news, and it's being contended right now. You got the Tim Canova situation with him and David Wasserman Schultz, where she barely scraped by, and now we find out that ballots got destroyed. But you don't find that out if it's not a close race. So. The Democratic Party in elections like that, they will do what they have. It's like I said, y'all think Jill Stein didn't get 5% of the country's vote, people? She broke. The Green Party broke. I mean, they broke their fundraising records by a lot. Not a little bit, by a lot. And if you just divide, the amount of money they raised and said that everybody donated $5 on average or $10 or $20 on average. If you just count the people who left the Democratic Party to switch into the Green Party, if you count the people who didn't leave the Democratic Party because they were scared to have their registration messed with and still voted for the Green Party, it is very difficult for me to say that Jill Stein didn't get 5% or even that Gary Johnson didn't get 5% because there's actually a higher libertarian voter demographic.
That's the one I thought. Okay, we got some numbers in. And when it comes to District 34, this is the Kenneth Mejia Green District. We talked about this. Jimmy Gomez is expected to just win this district big time. You know what I'm saying? Even a lot of progressives are saying behind him. It's all about second place right now, right? And Kenneth Mejia is holding a slight lead over the Libertarian, and he's just about trying to creep on in there. It is only 1% of the reporting and the voting in. That is all the early voting. But Jimmy Gomez is expected to win this district. All we want to do is get Kenneth Mejia in second place and then go from there.
Wow. So, man, look. Mejia being able to get second place and get on that stage. Listen, y'all.
We've never had a Green Party in the House.
Yeah, people. You know what I'm saying? This is a big... Listen, people. He will get national attention. He already had national attention before, right? While he was running as a Democrat. But obviously he got cheated because the dude was ridiculously popular. But... this is different because now you have a candidate who is in a one-on-one battle, because the Libertarian got kicked out. There's not if he wins, the Libertarian's gone. There's not a Republican running. It is green versus blue. He is fighting for the soul of independence, people. Yep. This isn't like Bernie. Like Bernie he is truly an independent person. He votes both sides depending on the bill. But Vermont doesn't have voter registration, so it kind of gets a cheat in that regard. But not in California. Kenneth switched out, went to the green, and is fighting for the soul of independence everywhere. And even libertarians. I know libertarians don't necessarily because I think a libertarian gets smashed in a debate. I'm going to be honest with you. Most libertarians who are running for office don't actually realize that a lot of that shit is stupid. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
They got some good stuff.
They got some good
really stupid
and
shit.
A theory of a perfect world, some of their
No numbers in from District 12 yet. Nancy Pelosi, Stephen Jaffe, we don't know.
No numbers in, but Nancy Pelosi has a check mark.
She's got a check mark.
Remember they were doing that?
There hasn't been a vote casted yet, but there's a...
Remember they were doing that during the primary? Hillary was having check marks.
Yeah.
And we were like... They haven't voted yet. Yeah. It says 0.
Arizona.
How does she have a check mark? It says
Arizona. Man, let's take a look at these big races again. Gavin Newsom is kind of extending his lead a little bit. Antonio Villaraigosa. Hold
on. So I go to Gomez's Twitter, right?
Yeah.
The first thing I see on his Twitter from LA Democrats, printing error caused registrar to omit names precincts in LA County. The solution for those affected by the cast is a provisional ballot. Make sure you go get yours today. You motherfucker.
Look, he even put it up there and make it look nice, the provisional ballot. Delaney Easton is not doing what I thought she'd do. She's way behind.
You knew that was going to happen, bro.
I thought she'd be better than that. Now let's look at this race over here.
You can't.
Kevin De Leon is within striking distance of James Bradley.
Listen what I'm telling you, bro.
Allison Hartson.
The better the kid, because Pat Harris is a beast and was very popular, had a great ground game, and in all honesty, he even had some money behind him. Not like bad money, but he had a good amount of money in pool and networking behind him. And he's getting smacked right now. Delaney Easton, I mean, was really good at galvanizing people, really good people person, and she's getting smacked right now. But yet in races where nobody knows who that progressive is, in the Republican district, they're right there in striking distance of second place.
Because at least the Republicans don't cheat.
Oh yeah,
well they cheat.
It's just different. It's just a different
cheating.
Yeah,
they don't cheat their own kind.
Yeah.
They cheat the Republicans cheat Democrats. Democrats cheat Democrats
and Republicans
and everybody else
and
independents.
Yeah. But the moral of that story is that you really if you go because both of the parties suck, right? But let's be honest, right? When Trump won, they were like, look. Do y'all want to win an election and take the House and the Senate back? Are y'all going to keep, are we going to try to take him out after he's already been successful? What? Or are we going to try to take him out at his feet while he's running for office? Because that's what the Democrats would have did. I hope y'all know that. If somehow a guy let Bernie win, they would have cut him off because they would have rather had Trump in office. Clearly,
of course,
clearly. Do we have to debate that? Would they have rather had Trump in office? Well, the only one who can seem to beat Bernie Sanders right now, according to all the polls, even the really biased ones, it says only Bernie can beat him.
Yeah.
Even the biased ones, we really tried to help Hillary out here, but even the biased polls were saying that Bernie was the only one who could win. They were like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, man. Hillary, you keep chilling. We'll let Casper campaign Ohio for you. And that's pretty much what happened. Casper, they didn't see him. That's why Hillary lost.
Angelica Duenas getting on the board. District 29. Angelica Duenas is one of those three greens I talked about. She got the national Our Revolution endorsement just last week, I think. They put her on the ballot, and she's a little bit behind right now, but she's on the board.
Did Gomez get the DNC, the Cali Democratic endorsement?
I think he did.
Yeah, well,
he won a special election, and then
Oh, weird stuff happened today, by the way. Just in case y'all were wondering, Kate Spade kind of killed herself.
Who did?
Kate Spade. She hung herself in her apartment.
Who's Kate Spade?
The inventor of all those purses. And also, something else weird happened. The Nickelodeon president resigned after 10 years.
The Nickelodeon president?
Also, something else weird happened. The Starbucks CEO, I also think, resigned.
What? What the hell is going on in this place?
Well, I don't know if you heard about the child jail thing that happened in.
Oh, yeah, with you're talking about with Senator Merkley.
No. I'm talking about like over the last couple of days.
Texas.
No. This is in Arizona where they found a child like jail with like toys and underwear and bro, and so they went viral, and people thought like, no, there's no way. I can tell you all, by the way, insider information. In the group that I am part of, we have people all over the world. One of our people is in, it's like the progressive Illuminati, but one of our people is in Arizona. She went to see for herself. She said, I was disgusted.
Do you know this whole fucking mentality about separating these children from their families is to deter people from coming here? That's the mindset behind it with Sessions and Trump. He's that's disgusting. But I mean, you saw the one with Merkley, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
But my thing is, though, what's crazy about it is like, bro, a lot of this started with Obama, and it started a little bit with Bush too. But like, what kills me is that the Dreamer Act is good, but that protects like what 300,000 people. He deported 8 million.
Yeah.
And once again, a lot of these are unaccompanied minors because these unaccompanied minors that got found in the hand of the child trafficker when the PBS reported about a week ago, those were during the Obama administration. And so you have to start wondering now, which is the thing that I always talk about. I say, whenever the news wants to make something important, they will not shut up about it if it's important to them. And when they, it's either one of two things. Whenever it's important but not in a good way, when it can be damning to somebody in power, they will cover it and they'll just, it's like, no, that is absolutely unequivocally, it's like the CTE thing, right? They always say anybody with CTE only hurts themselves, and that became a stigma because they don't want to connect CTE with the Aaron Hernandez situation. They don't want to connect it with all the ridiculous and exponential rise in domestic violence that's taking place in the league. And you know, so they'll cover it, but it's extremely biased, or they just won't talk about it at all. So every time that we've had the human trafficking conversation in America recently, especially since the election, it's been that weird Catholic priest feeling that's impossible. Elites would never, ever engage in pedophilia. There's not like a strong history of that or anything. It's not like that one time where we had we said, they're important people. They would never do that to little boys. You're a conspiracy theorist. Oh shit, them priests were touching little boys. I feel like an asshole now. And so we found out that these people that were actually going to take this evidence of this I wouldn't call it playground. It was like a huge compound. They want to take this evidence to Washington, so they arrested them for trespassing on whose property? Please, you know what? If I got arrested for trespassing here, I'll be like, oh, please tell me who this is. This is why, people, it is so important for us to get out, and because people, like, there's a lot of people who are apathetic to the voter, like, to voting, and this is important, because when we allow these networks to continue, right, they can keep protecting each other, whether it's with finance, whether it's with trafficking, whether it's with being part of cartels in Colombia and rigging elections in other countries, and they start bringing their people with them, and then they bring their people to attorney general so they can choose who they want to prosecute. And I'm pretty sure they're not gonna prosecute their friends, right? No, probably not. And then the people who become secretaries of their various states, because you can lift them into power. And then, well, they're not gonna challenge anybody for election fraud. Probably, you could challenge your friend for election fraud. Probably not. Probably not. And we know that human trafficking in general has exponentially increased, but yet nobody talks about it at all. It is not even brought up, people. It's not even. They're like, Russiagate, maybe. Let's talk about that every day. But human trafficking, statistically and factually. Stormy Daniels too. Please. I forgot. Okay. But here's what's interesting. So you heard about Allison Mack. I'm sure you live in this up. So pretty much, you know who NXIVM is, right? Are you familiar with NXIVM? It's said that those people were connected to NXIVM. And a lot of people, man, you know, if Allison Mack, that's Smallville, she got caught. And I can't believe she got caught. I honestly could not believe it. I'm like, yo, they actually published this? That's something that usually gets swept under the rug. But you know why that people are getting caught? These corporations are getting caught doing things. Saudi Arabia and their relationships to Netanyahu are getting exposed because you're breaking the networks down by getting involved in these elections, people. And no, you're not always voting to make your candidate win. But guess what? We know enough people are voting for Pat Harris that we should be suspicious right now. And we can say, I voted. Did you vote? I voted. Here's my proof. I voted. Here's my proof. And then you start adding things up. And then we start challenging elections. And for those of you who say that we don't have any type of pull or any type of say, we're in the appellate court right now for the DNC fraud lawsuit, about to go into oral arguments that no one thought we had. Remember, TYT said that this is frivolous. We're in the 11th District Federal Court.
Aaron said it was frivolous. I remember he said you don't get money back. I was like, what are you talking about?
By the way, remember the DNC was Democratic Party suing Russia and WikiLeaks, and they didn't say that was frivolous. They actually didn't cover it at all. Actually, funny enough, right?
They're suing Russia.
Suing Russia. I don't know.
Most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. There are still no results in from District 12. Nancy Pelosi, I don't know, man.
No, they waiting for us to go to sleep for that one.
They
waiting for the East Coast.
They
waiting for East Coast to go to sleep because they know
messing with you in that one.
They don't want nobody recording the results because you got somebody right now with their iPhone recording their screen like, bitch, you think you getting past me tonight? I'm putting my phone in the charger, recording, and we're gonna watch these votes go up on this Pelosi because she gonna cheat. She's not even popular. She was unpopular as shit in her district.
Nothing's coming in with Kendall. He is still holding still at 1% higher than his challenger.
Snap.
Less than a percent ahead over Angela.
Let's go, Ricardo. Kenneth, man. Let's go, Kenneth. Good stuff. Let's do it. But you got to be able to hold people accountable, and if there's no participation, how can you say you were there? And how do we know if somebody really did something? Because like if everybody thought that this was pointless, we don't have any control over our system, then the people in those Republican districts that are progressives wouldn't be getting the votes that they are getting right now, because they're like, it's pointless. We know what's going to happen. We're going to get cheated. And now we don't have the ability to compare. It's like, so why are the super popular candidates getting beat by random people?
Yeah.
Like that we've never heard of. The super popular ones in Feinstein's race, for example, or in Gavin Newsom's race, for example. Listen,
Paul Taylor.
Who's Tom Palzer? Who's Aaron Cruz?
Yeah.
Who's Aaron Brunty? I don't know who that is. I've never even heard of her. Her name is so hard to pronounce.
Well, De Leon is within striking distance. I think this is all for a show, man. I don't even tell you that much.
And Dianne Feinstein.
Look at this. Look who's close. Look who's right next to each other. Allison Hartson and
Pat
Harris.
Now Allison Hartson and Pat Harris are right next to each other.
Neck and neck. And David Hildebrand is right down over there.
Yeah, at 8,000 votes. And do you truly believe, and I'm asking you, do you truly believe David Hildebrand only got 8,000 votes?
No.
That dude was popular as hell. He was polling on like California local TV, people. Mm-hmm. Like it's different, right? It's different if nobody knows who he is. So you're like, and this wasn't, once again, California's different, so you have to understand the context around California's races. If you think about this, where's the race at?
Right.
So when we saw those polls, that was yesterday. I ain't see James Bradley, or did we? Actually, was he on there? I think he might have been, but I think he was like the last. He was the last person. He was polling last in the top 4.
Yeah.
Do you know who was polling? Yeah, Dianne Feinstein, and then Pat Harris.
Yeah.
And then Kevin De Leon, and then James Bradley. But you know, there are certain areas that James Bradley, as a solid Republican, could take advantage of. So he was gonna get like 10%. That's what they said, and it's actually holding true. But the rest, the person who was supposed to be in second place, is getting beat by people who didn't even show up on television. They've never seen their names before.
Paul Taylor, Aaron Cruz, Tom Palzer.
This is so if you don't participate,
nope.
How do we know things like this?
De Leon has now moved into second place.
Just as we expected.
Second place.
Kevin De Leon was polling third, and not like close to Pat Harris. It was like he was a distant third. Like, people, this is why you gotta vote.
12% of the vote in.
Because here's the good part. Like, here's the best part about this.
They called it for Gavin Newsom.
Oh yeah, we knew that was happening.
But look at the second place right now.
Well, you think that they gonna deal with Gavin Newsom? So I gotta call your wife? Do I need a woman to add your wife on Facebook, sir? Okay, you better check. Anyway.
Now here you go. You got Antonio Villaraigosa, Johnny Chang, and Delaney Easton. They all couldn't get together right now. They would have 400,000 votes and be right on Johnny Cox's butt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They can't do that.
Bro, it's insane. But you know what the best... I'm waiting for the entertainment. You know what I mean by that?
What's that?
I mean, the Democratic Party tried to screw Pat Harris once. And he immediately responded. Mm-hmm. Because they are scared of Pat Harris. Pat Harris is one of them dudes that you just don't fuck with. He makes that very clear in his interviews. So you think that Pat Harris is gonna take that laying down? If they would have, if Kevin De Leon barely beat him,
yeah,
that's different, right? But you're gonna try to you're gonna convince Pat Harris to you don't have to talk Pat Harris up. He knows what his worth is, okay? Like, he knows where he's at. You saw progressives actually. I mean, I hate to. David, you know I love you, man. You're a great candidate, and I hope one day that you can. I hope you continue to run for office.
He's going to.
You know, but. People were switching from David Hildebrand to Pat Harris because he was that more viable than anybody else to beat Dianne Feinstein in every way. So
Kenneth Mejia is still holding.
He was so viable once again that they tried to keep him off the ballot for endorsements because that's how much of a threat he is to Dianne Feinstein's seat. And he caused such a ruckus, I believe. I mean, yeah, Kevin De Leon was part of the reason that Dianne Feinstein, but Pat Harris was a huge part of the reason because he brought a lot of attention to what happened. And so Pat Harris, we pay attention to that Dianne Feinstein race, y'all. because I don't think it's done yet. I think that we're going to see a lot of drama come out of that. And a lot of people start getting held accountable because, bro, 30% of the early voting, but bro, you turn on the TV, they're like, it's like you flipped a switch and just had 30,000 when you woke up. That probably means 30,000 got thrown away. But it is getting late on the East Coast, people.
It is.
It's getting late on the East Coast.
It's time to go eat.
Yeah, we about to eat. I'm hungry. Yo, it is 12:30.
Hey, man, I got to say thank you so much for letting me come out here and hang out with you and do this, man.
Oh,
this
man.
is so much fun. First Super Tuesday. And, you know, I'll be back in California where we're going to moderate these debates as we're going through. We'll be running on the MCSC network and just having a great time.
And Burners, I am trying my hardest to make it out to your August meet and greet. I think it's about time.
Seattle.
That I made a. It's in Seattle.
August 18th, Seattle.
Oh,
Seattle.
Better. I'll go both then. We can
come
take
out
a road trip.
Road trip.
So yeah. So check out Craig on the Convo Couch.
Please do.
Especially for all California, Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi, Kevin Leon, and if you want to know drama about Gavin Newsom screwing his campaign manager's wife, that's only something Californians would know.
But he's a better person because of it.
But he's a better person. He learned a lot from it.
They're better people for it.
Hey, you know what's messed up? How you screw your campaign manager's wife and still win? I'm assuming he's not his campaign manager anymore, right?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would assume not.
You know what's bro? You know what's funny about it? He probably his campaign manager probably wasn't doing that good of a job.
Probably not. But
he probably was like, okay, you know, I'm screwing your wife. So, but check out Craig on the Convo Couch on the MCSC Network. Obviously at mcscnetwork.com. Convo Couch on Facebook, on Twitter. Everywhere pretty much. YouTube, and obviously on the YouTube channel for MCSC Network. And also shout out to Fiorella. Sorry you can't be here, but next time y'all are both in Florida at the same time, we will turn up and do a show together. I don't know if it'll be as good as this one, and I have to get a bigger camera because you know your head big, Fee. You know it's big. You can do long division on your forehead. We love you, but this is a fact. It's a
at least a 5.5
It's a
head.
666 head. It's a devil head. 666 diagonal. You can write across your forehead. Love you, Fee. Anyway, moral of the story is, listen, shit's getting real, but it's okay because in every loss there is a victory of knowledge, and we are learning a lot from this election.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing a pattern consistently of districts that are democratically ran where the progressive, who is supposedly very popular, is getting screwed. Like, because this is a unique type of race in California that we're seeing right now, so it gives us a lot of very unique insight. But like I said, in Republican districts or districts that are not dominantly held by Democrats, the progressives are about to be in runoff races, and it looks like one of the biggest runoff races in the country is probably going to end up being that Kenneth Mejia race. So, and that's a Green Party guy who's about to have a chance to be elected as the first green in the United States House of Representatives.
That'd be awesome. Understand
something, people. That means that you can't. This is a general. That's a general election. You can't avoid a debate. You can, especially with Kenneth Mejia, because Kenneth is not quiet, and he got all the independent connects.
Mm-hmm.
So you avoid debate. And the guests, and they've already made, if I understand correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, progressives have already made a pact somewhat with Kenneth Mejia, saying that if he ends up in the runoff, they're going to help him, right?
I think so. I mean, everybody's. We never really talked about the fragmentation because we talked about our revolution, but DSA is coming into play.
Yeah.
And the Green Party, they're trying to sit everybody down and get together.
I know that the progressives will get behind Kenneth Mejia. Yeah.
They'll get behind him.
Yeah.
If Kenneth Mejia gets in there, but here's the problem is that Democrat that is running does have a lot of progressive. He's got that kind of De Leon kind of essence where a lot of
I just saw, man. Look, I'm gonna tell you like
viable.
This. You don't see progressives talking about go fill out provisional ballots.
No.
We know we don't get those, right? But hey, never fear, people. Never fear. Victories come in all different ways and don't necessarily come by getting elected to office, but exposing the barriers for us getting elected to office. So there are some who are going to win tonight. There's some who are going to lose, but we're going to learn from, and we're going to be able to use this in a very significant way going forward, because this is the thing about this, the first midterm that we have been able to see in California since everything has taken place. And this is the only place that we'll be able to have these comparisons that we were not allowed, that we didn't get in other races. So that's awesome. We're going to move on from it. We're going to take it, and people like Craig are going to learn from it and apply it in California, because Craig, like myself, like everybody else on my network, is not only a journalist, not only a commentator, but an activist first. So thank you for coming on, Craig.
Thank you
so
much
for coming all the way
having
out
me,
here. And always remember, people, more than anything else, find your balance. Peace.